What's going on, guys? Antonio here. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up for me, and let's get into it. All right, so we're on Entertainment Weekly, and they've got this article up. Horizon actor defends Kevin Costner movie after poor box office premiere. Learn how to watch real cinema. This is Michael Rooker, who obviously was it Yondu in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I know he was also on The Walking Dead, but he's in Horizon. And let me say, I'm telling you this, it's been, let's see, I've been home about 15 minutes. We just left the theater and we saw on the 4th of July, we saw Horizon. My wife and I both loved it. And guess what? There were a lot of people in that theater. We weren't the only ones going to see the movie on 4th of July. Now, on late Sunday and articles that came out on Monday, they were only saying the movie was gonna, it's like, oh, it's only gonna do about $4.1 million. And yesterday they revised it. They said, oh, it did 11 million. Don't listen to these people. The people are going to, I'm not saying it's going to be this massive, huge blockbuster, but there are a lot of places that like and respect Kevin Costner, and they are going to go out and support this movie. And they're like, oh, Kevin Costner put up $38 million to shoot this, and they've already got the first two parts in the can, because the second one's coming out, I think, the week of my wife's birthday is August 25th. And I think the movie is actually opening that week, because we had talked a couple months ago. We had actually bought our tickets for Horizon to go. We were going to go this past Friday and see it. Unfortunately, my wife's younger brother passed away, so we had to cancel that. But we took care of all that, and we had our funeral. We came back home, and we just rescheduled. We moved, we just bought the tickets online. And so we just canceled and repurchased it for when we would be back home, which was today. And like I said, we went and saw the movie. There were a lot of people in that theater. Cause that's, I was, my wife was shocked because we had seen so many articles talking about, oh, Horizon's bad. It's, it's a TV movie. It should have never been on the big screen, all this kind of stuff. I'm going to tell you something. The movie is beautifully shot. It's a beautiful looking movie. And one thing I like about Kevin, and I was talking about this with my wife, he keeps a lot of familiar faces in the movie. And James Russo's in there, and I know he worked with James in Silverado. Danny Houston, I know they became friends working on Yellowstone together. The first two seasons of Yellowstone, Danny Houston's the villain on there. Will Patton's in the movie. Will Patton and Kevin Costner have been friends for over 30 years. I know he's the, I don't know if he's in Wyatt Earp. I know he's in, The Postman. He's the bad guy at the end of the Postman. They've got the Law of Eight or whatever. They brand everybody with the figure eight, and he's the leader of those bad guys. And Kevin Costner goes off, and then by the end he comes back and they handle their business. But they've been friends. They've been friends 30 some odd years. So that they wrote that character on Yellowstone to have Will Patton come on and be, just Kevin, so Kevin can work. Kevin likes working with his friends. There's nothing wrong with that. And like I said, it was good to see Danny Houston. And I saw, Glenn Turman is going to he wasn't in this first part. They just showed him at the end in they did like Back to the Future 2. If you watch Back to the Future 2, right at the end, they had like a little trailer for Back to the Future Part 3. And so in that little trailer that they showed at the end of Horizon, you see Glenn Turman and some of these, Giovanni Ribisi, he's in it. Luke Wilson, Owen Wilson's brother, he's in that. What's the guy? I think his name's was it the guy that played Jake Sully in Avatar? I think it's Sam Waterston or something. But he's in it. I mean, like I said, everybody that was in it was fantastic. Sometimes I think, especially as I've been looking over the last few weeks, a lot of the mainstream press have been just giving this movie terrible reviews. And I think some of that has to do with the fact that apparently Kevin Costner, he may not be a full-on conservative, but he's not as hardcore liberal as they want him to be, especially when it talks about like gun rights and different things. And so he tends to, maybe he's more moderate. He's not a Trump guy. I know he was definitely friends with President George W. Bush. He had gone to the White House during George W. Bush's presidency, and been very previewed movies for him and did that kind of stuff. Which, if you notice, depending on who's in the White House, certain celebrities will not. Obama could get pretty much any of the liberal Hollywood actors to come out and, hey, watch my new movie, President Obama, or whatever. But George W. Bush would invite, and certain people would, they were like, no, thank you, Mr. President. And they wouldn't, they would not show up at the White House. Or you'd see certain sports teams and they wouldn't, because it's like, oh, you're a Republican, so I'm not, even though you're celebrating our team winning the championship, I'm not coming to the White House, that whole deal. Right. So, I don't think Kevin Costner is a Trump guy, though. Matter of fact, it was a couple years ago, Dick Cheney's daughter, Liz Cheney, she was running for re-election, and Donald Trump was president, and she had criticized him very heavily. And obviously Donald Trump wanted her out of there because, she was going against him, and he put the Republican machine behind his candidate, who beat her. But Kevin Costner was very vocal in supporting Liz Cheney, specifically because he knew Trump was out to get her. And he said that. I mean, you can look a lot of that stuff up. He wore her shirt and was filmed with it and all this kind of stuff. He was trying to do so. Like I said, I don't know if Kevin Costner is a full-on conservative. Like I said, he was cordial with President George W. Bush, but he's definitely, he doesn't seem like a Trump guy. But I think because he's not full on, Joe Biden or whatever, there's a lot of these press. It's kind of like Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld apparently is like undercover conservative, and I think that's why he gets so much negative press over the last, say, 2 or 3 years and everything. So I think a lot of these negative reviews are just people that are hating against him because he's not doing what they expect. Hey, you're in this position, you're supposed to talk about all the things that, all the liberal things that we want you to do. And Kevin's just like, nah, I don't agree with that. And he's not going along, and he just wants to, he wants to make old fashioned movies and just do that. And like I said, we watch Horizon. It is 3 hours long. Really, really enjoyed it. And like I said, I'm glad to see that 4.1 jumped up to 11 million. Everybody forgets they do sell these movies overseas. They put them on streaming services. This movie's going to make its money back, and I think they'll have a box set with all 4 movies. They'll do all that stuff. So, and like I said, I really enjoyed the film. If it was bad, I was prepared. I was like, maybe I'm wrong. I know when I watched the trailer, I thought the trailer got me interested in it, and my wife was interested when we watched the trailer together, because I watched it and I was like, baby, you got to see this trailer. And we watched it. He was like, hey, you want to go see that? And she was like, yeah, let's do that. And so we got tickets. And Horizon is definitely a thumbs up for me. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to watching part 2. It was a really strong film. But if you have seen it or are planning on possibly seeing it on this second weekend that it's going to be in the theaters, that definitely, help Kevin Costner out, go show him some support, because that's what he needs. He needs people to actually get off their ass and go to the theater and watch it. Don't wait for it to come on Netflix or whatever streaming service. It'll probably end up, it's a Warner Brothers movie, so it'll most likely end up on Max when it's out of theaters. But like I said, I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to watching it again. But get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Give me a follow. We need you. We're on the road to 3,000. Facebook, Instagram. I'm on X. I'm on Threads. All at Ikari Press. Type in IkariPress.com. It will take you to my comic book brand, Way of the Gun. I've got the link to that and my Gumroad in the description if you guys want to check out some of my other projects. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out.